Hello. Announce about final again. Final will be on Monday, May 4th from 4 to 5:20 p.m. It is now real time. Final questions from assignment 1, 2, 4, 6. 4 questions. You did assignment 1, 2, 4, 6 from chapter 7, 11, 15, and 9. Today we will cover chapter 13, and then you will have assignment 9. And next Monday, last chapter 14 and assignment 10. And next Wednesday, I will give you review about the final. I will use assignment 1, 2, 4, 6 questions and answer, review, final. And about grade, originally attendance portion was 10%, but after spring break, we changed it online. So attendance up to spring break, before the spring break, count 5%. I have some information about athletic students, but to make sure, if you are athletic student and then if you missed classes because of a game, then email me to make sure. And midterm final 30% each. Quizzes originally 30%, but up to spring break we did 4 quizzes and one actually 5 quizzes, so 15%. Then after spring break, after change it to online, I gave you assignments, 10 assignments, that is 20%. So this one is including kind of attendance, 5% from attendance. So total it will be 100%. Okay, if you have a question about final or grade individually, then email me, then you can make an appointment to see me. Then I will email you WebEx meeting individually if you have a question or a concern. Okay, today's chapter 13, supply chain management. Supply chain is a network from supplier to customer, so including suppliers, manufacturer, and distribution, and like a store, and up to customer network. So supply chain is a network which include all the interaction among suppliers, manufacturers, distributors, maybe a store too, and customers. Supply chain management, SCM, simply we call SCM. This one is a total system approach, managing activities in supply chain. So in supply chain, information, materials, and service flow through the network. So managing those activities, receive, send, receive, make, produce, send, receive, and so on. So managing activities to make it cheaper, faster, and better. So supply chain management. Managing activities in supply chain to make it better, cheaper, faster. Measuring supply chain performance. To measure, evaluate supply chain, we can use inventory turnover and weeks of supply. Inventory turnover equals cost of goods sold, that is the annual cost for a company to produce the goods or service. So material cost, labor cost, and so on. Divided by average aggregate inventory value, the total value of all items held in inventory for the firm valued at cost. So inventory, aggregate inventory, material component, work in process, final product, all inventory value. So inventory turnover equals cost of goods sold divided by average aggregate inventory value. Weeks of supply. This one is how long inventory or goods in the system. So aggregate inventory value divided by cost of goods sold. Earlier one, inventory turnover, cost of goods sold divided by average aggregate inventory value. So weeks of supply, flip over denominator and numerator, flip over times 52 weeks, because a year is 52 weeks. Example, if net revenue is 18,243, actually this one is $1 million, and then cost of revenue $14,137 million. Production material and work in process. So this is aggregate inventory value, 234 plus 39 million. So inventory turnover, how many tons, how many materials or inventory ton in the system. 14,137, this one, go back, that is cost of goods sold, divided by aggregate inventory, aggregate inventory value, 234 plus 39, so equals 5178 tons per year. So this supply chain for this company tons 51.8 per year. Weeks of supply, aggregate inventory divided by cost of goods sold, the same as cost of revenue, times 52 is 1.004 week. So for this company's supply chain, inventory stay in the system 1.004 week. If company A's inventory turnover is 5178 tons, and then week supply is 1.004, and for company B, 40 tons per year and 1.3 weeks of supply. Which companies supply chain work faster or better? Answer is company A. More tons or less time in the system, weeks of supply. So more ton, more higher inventory turnover, or less weeks of supply means supply chain work faster or better. So company A's compared to company A and B, company A's supply chain works faster and better. Supply chain strategies. Depending on demand uncertainty and supply uncertainty, there are 4 dimensions. If demand uncertainty is low and supply uncertainty is low, then efficient supply chain strategy. Demand uncertainty is low and evolving. Supply chain uncertainty is high, and risk hedging supply chain strategy. High demand uncertainty and low supply uncertainty, then responsive supply chain strategy. And both sides high uncertainty, then using agile supply chain strategy. So determine demand uncertainty. There are 2 product types. First one, a functional product. Functional product, product that people buy in a wide range of retail outlets, such as grocery, gas, and so on. So, just like every day, we consume the general product, that is functional product. Life cycle. The product life cycle, I mentioned a couple of times during my lecture earlier. Okay, that's not work. This moment, I need this moment. Okay, I need a pen. Product life cycle, I believe you know, looks like this. There are 4 phases: introduction, growth, mature, and decline. There are 4 phases like this. So this product life cycle for this functional product long. So more than 2 years. When I was young, I could buy something. I remembered the candy, Lifesaver, Loop type, candy. That one also available today. So life cycle of this product very long. So that is an example of a functional product. And contribution margin. Contribution margin, I think I mentioned that one also earlier. When we produce something, then we need like initial cost and a fixed cost, and then a variable cost. So this is now fixed cost, FC. Then sell the product, and this is revenue. And up to this point is break-even point. Break-even point. Up to this point, price minus variable cost is contribution margin. That means contribute to offset fixed cost. So after this point, break-even point, this one is profit margin. So this price minus variable cost, that is contribution margin up to break-even point, small contribution margin. So about 5 to 10%. And lead time between order and receive. That lead time is long, usually long, make to order, 6 months to 1 year. Long lead time. Because life cycle is long, lead time is long, is no problem. Also, because of long product life cycle, the contribution margin small is okay. To offset fixed cost, long is okay. The other types of product is innovative product, such as fashion apparel. Fashion apparel or innovative product life cycle is short. Fashion apparel, maybe this year's fashion is not fashion next year. So sometimes certain product life cycle is only a season. So very short life cycle. Because of this short life cycle of this innovative products contribution margin should be large. For this innovative product should be large. And then lead time should be short. Say again, functional product life cycle is long, contribution margin small, lead time is long. Innovative product life cycle is short, so contribution margin should be large and lead time should be short. And next category, About the supply side uncertainty, there are two types of supply process: stable and evolving supply process. It's like that. On life cycle, if the product is on like a growth or mature phases, then the supply process is stable. For example, cellular phone, iPhone or Samsung Galaxy, whatever, newest cellular phone, Galaxy S20 is the newest. To buy that new one is expensive. Also, accessory for that newest cell phone, accessory or something, cover, whatever, expensive too. And then because it's the newest, not many choices. But like an one or two earlier version of the cell phone, old version, to buy that product cheaper, and also accessory or something needed related supplies cheaper too, and also there are so many choices like that. Newest supply process is evolving supply process. Already matured or growth phases, stages, product supply process is stable. So stable supply process, the manufacturing process and the underlying technology are mature, and the supply base is well established. Supply chain for already matured market is stable. And on the other side, the supply chain for new product is not stable, evolving. So demand uncertainty, if it is a functional product, then uncertainty is low because people consume demand every day. So there is no demand. So demand uncertainty is low. But innovative products such as fashion apparel, demand disappear easily. So uncertainty of demand in this category is high. Supply uncertainty, stable process, already matured product supply, uncertainty is low. Because now there are so many supplies and then cheap too. Evolving process uncertainty is high because it's kind of new, it's change quickly, rapidly. Okay, first dimension, both side uncertainty is low. Then we call efficient supply chain strategy. Because there is no demand and there is supply, so anytime get supply and then anytime can sell. So try to make it cheaper. So focus on cost efficiency. Example, product, grocery, basic apparel, food, oil, and so on. Next dimension, Demand uncertainty is low, but supply uncertainty is high. Risk hedging supply chain, such as hydroelectric power and some food produce, they are highly depending on weather. So sometimes more rain than there is supply, but like a drought, then supply maybe fluctuate. So try to reserve supply. So aiming at pooling and sharing resources. So build a dam to reserve the water for the hydroelectric power and so on like that. Next dimension, demand uncertainty is high, but supply uncertainty is low, such as a fashion apparel. There is no supply, but demand uh, suddenly disappear. So aiming at move fast, move fast. So focus on responsive and flexible. Agile supply chain strategy, both side, demand and supply side uncertainty high, such as telecommunication, high-end computer, semiconductor, high-tech products. So try to reserve supply, so responsive and flexible. Here pulling inventory, and then try to move fast. So move fast, and then reserve supply, the pulling inventory. So that is agile supply chain strategy. Outsourcing, I think I mentioned this outsourcing earlier a couple of times. Outsourcing, the act of moving some of a firm's internal activities and decision responsibility to outside providers. Basically, if we can do better than others, then in-house. If others can better than or faster than, cheaper than us, then send out our function, use outsourcing providers. That is outsourcing, send out our function to outside. Advantages, economies of scale, using, because they can make it cheaper than us. So using outsider provider, we can use economies of scale, their economies of scale. And then if they can do better than us, so we can use technology, and then reduce cost, especially fixed cost, because send out our function, so we don't need uh, office facility, machine, and so on. So usually we can reduce cost, fixed cost, improve quality because they can do better than us, and the flexibility and speed. If we have function inside, then it is slow to change or move. But if we use outside provider, then if we can find whichever whoever can do better, then we can switch easily. So flexibility and speed is one of the advantage of using outside outsourcing. But there are a couple of disadvantages using outside provider outsourcing. Dependency. Mm, Many cases, for example, some company, Dell computer. If we order online, like order, then Dell computer doesn't have an own shipping function using UPS. So if UPS is on strike, then the company cannot send. And then this time, coronavirus crisis, many US companies use outside, especially China, companies in China. So this time, many around the world, many companies struggle because they use outsourcing company in China. So dependency is one of the disadvantages using outsourcing. Vulnerability of information. To produce our product using outside, then main company should give kind of know-how and some important information to outside companies. If outside company open our important information, then it's no can be vulnerable. So vulnerability is one of the disadvantages of using outsourcing. Vertical integration. This one is opposite side of using outsourcing. If they can do better than us, then send out. But if we can do better than others, then bring in all functions. For the cost reduction, quality, and time. So if we can do better than, cheaper than, faster than others, then bring in function. Recently, Amazon.com. Earlier, Amazon.com send order using USPS and so on. But recently, Amazon changed to bring in that function. So using own Amazon truck to deliver orders. So that is a kind of example of vertical integration. Bring in functions to inside. If we can do better than, cheaper than, faster than others, then bring in. That is vertical integration. Opposite side of outsourcing. Value density. This is the value of an item per pound of weight. It is used as an important measure when deciding where items should be stocked geographically and how they should be shipped. Okay, for example, oops, go back. Pound, the value of a pound, something like this. What looks like? I draw a cotton. C-O-T-T-O-N, cotton. £1 of cotton, maybe, I'm not sure, but about $3. £1 of cotton. How about what looks like. I try to draw diamond, shiny diamond. How much is 1 pound of pure diamond? Priceless, $1 million? Like $1 million. So the same weight, 1 pound, but price is different. So this is value density. So diamond value density is very high. Cotton value density is very low. So based on this value density, we can use air, truck, train, water, like a ship, transportation method to send the product to somewhere. Speed, air, this side is fast, and water side is slow. Volume, air side is small volume, we can send, and water side large, like an oil tank, core, and so on. And cost, air side is high, and water side is low. How about value density? If value density high, then using faster, small, and high cost transportation. If value density is low, then speed, slow speed, and large volume, and low cost transportation using this side based on this value density. Next one is mass customization. Customization means many different types of products, and each product volume is a small size. That is customization products, customized product. But many different types, and also large size of each product. So many different, so need a customization, but also the volume of each item is high, large, so we need mass customization. So the ability of a company to deliver high customized many different types of products and service to different customers. So many different types and then large volume. The method to handle mass customization situation: postponing the task of differentiating. Don't make the final product. Stop certain point, latest possible point. Don't make the final product. Stop certain point, that is latest possible point. If we go, I usually go Walmart to buy paint. You may go Lowe's or Home Depot to buy paint to paint the wall. Then if we go there, then we choose color card, then give that color card to clerk. Then they don't have the same the color not ready. So they bring they call a primer, kind of white paint, and then mix color, and then shake, and then give you the final product, whatever color you want. So if there are three basic colors, red, yellow, blue, so don't make the final product. Postpone the task of differentiating. Latest possible point is here. So we call them module or component. If customer come and then ask the orange color paint, then mix red and yellow. If a customer come and then ask green, and then mix yellow and blue, green color. So this is final product, but they don't make. Stop here, and then when customer come and then ask, then make a final product. So maybe here up to this point, make two stock, and then from this point make two order like this. Principles to handle mass customization situation. To make a product, like I mentioned earlier, using module, independent module, and then later make final product, produce final product. So easily and inexpensively make the final product. So using module or component. If it is a process, how can we handle mass customization situation using independent module? The same, but in process, earlier I mentioned cellular, make a cell, similar functions, make a cell, and then cell 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. So using group technology and then make a cell, and then we can combine those cells, then easily rearrange. So if it's process, then using cell or cellular layout, we will talk about the cellular layout later again. And then if it is supply chain, supply network, then use module or component outsourcing companies. So choose outsourcing companies and then arrange, rearrange, and then we can make a supply chain using outsourcing providers. So not inside in-house. If we use in-house functions, then it's harder to change or move. But using outsourcing companies, then we can use that network flexibly and responsivenessly. Okay, that's all for chapter 13. And you have assignment 9. There are 5 questions, true or false, multiple questions, 2 attempts allowed, and each attempt 15 minutes. Due is next Tuesday. Okay, see you next Monday.